Thanks, guys. We're here with Tyler Miller, goalkeeper of LAFC. Tyler, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Herc.
Now, Tyler, this has been a historic season for LAFC. Most points in a regular season, most goals scored, supporters shield locked up pretty much by 5 weeks before the season ends. What has made you guys so dominant this season?
Well, I think this year we've continued what we worked on so much last year, and that's our ability to play out of the back, the confident style that Bob's instilled in the entire team. And I think that this year we've really grasped that and have added a few more players that have really bolstered our roster and our lineup.
Now, one of those players, without a doubt, is Carlos Vela. And when we talk about these historic records achieved, Carlos Vela just demolished defenses in Major League Soccer like no other. He broke Joseph Martinez's goal-scoring record of 31, 34 goals scored, 15 assists. What has made Carlos Vela just so dominant in Major League Soccer?
I think it's just the confidence. I think that he approached every training with that same swagger and confidence that he shows on the field. And this year, it's been amazing and incredible to watch. And every time he cuts in on that left foot and curls it to the upper 90, I know it's going in.
Now, I've said before that here in Los Angeles, you guys put on quite a show. You go to you guys' games, and there are celebrities everywhere. One of the celebrities is Will Ferrell. Has it surprised you how much of a hands-on owner Will Ferrell has been?
He's been one of the most enthusiastic and energetic guys. After the game, he comes on the field, he's shaking hands with all the players, and he loves it. He comes to the locker room, he's partying with us. Like, it's been incredible to see.
What's Will Ferrell's tactical analysis like? Does he give you anything?
I mean, he gives us a lot. I think that his game, he's learned a lot from the movies that he's produced, and I think that in Kicking and Screaming, he has a very unique style of play, and it's always give it to the Italians. And I think he comes and he tells us, always give it to the Mexican in Carlos.
Carlos Vela, and it's worked so far for you guys.
It has.
Now, because you guys were so successful, you received the first round bye. You were waiting the winner of Minnesota versus the LA Galaxy. Are you kind of hoping it's the LA Galaxy?
It would make for a pretty entertaining matchup. I think that that's what everybody else hopes for. For us in the locker room, we're really just prepared for either game.
Now, if it is the LA Galaxy, it's a straight-up question. Why hasn't LAFC been able to beat the LA Galaxy?
I think that each derby has had its own story. I mean, it's been a challenging test every time we play them. And I mean, they've got a very talented player in Zlatan, and I think that he's performed well in those games. And I think that this playoff game, if we do play them, will be one of the most exciting games of the year.
Now, what makes Zlatan just so difficult for you guys? Because he's been the boogeyman for LAFC.
I mean, he's a world-class player. You can't argue with the clubs that he's played with, where he's gone, the things that he's done. I mean, it's just hard to match up against him, and he's a special player, but I think that this playoff match will be different.
So no doubt, Carlos Vela and Zlatan are two very important players for their respective clubs. Yes. Who is more important to their club?
I think that Carlos has been very important for our club. I think that, yes, he's been irreplaceable on the field, but what he does off the field for our locker room and for our team has been something that true leaders have.
Now, last year you had the unfortunate incident of being one and done in the playoffs against RSL. How much does that weigh on your mind going to what is a 2-week layoff before you play your next game? Can you learn from those past experiences?
I think so. I mean, last year we were an inexperienced team. It was our first time in the playoffs, and so everybody that was in that game has learned from that experience. And I think this year we're really focused on taking each game at a time, and we recognize that you win 2 games and we're in an MLS Cup final.
Well, give me your pick right now for the MLS Cup final. Who will it be? Which 2 teams?
Well, I think it'll be LAFC versus Atlanta.
All right, time for a little fun, all right? Just whatever you think, say it.
All right.
Best player in Concacaf, is it your teammate with the U.S. men's national team, Christian Pulisic, or is it your teammate with LAFC, Carlos Vela?
Carlos Vela.
Carlos Vela, without a doubt, you just named him already. Why?
The way that he's performed this entire season, there's no other choice.
What makes him so special?
His attitude. He loves the game. He's excited every day. He shows up to training.
Okay, let's see. He shows up in training. He's exciting. I'm sold. What is a better watch in Los Angeles? The LA Clippers or the LA Lakers?
The Lakers.
What do you like about the Lakers? In LA.
I mean, I think the personalities that you have on the team, there's going to be something special that happens every single night. You got LeBron, you got Anthony Davis, you have celebrities showing up to see them. There's something for everybody there.
Who would you consider LAFC to be? The Lakers or the Clippers?
I think that we would align with the Lakers.
Okay, better mascot. Is it Gritty or the Philly Fanatic?
Well, that's a tough one because I'm from Philly. I gotta go with the Philly Fanatic.
Over Gritty?
Over Gritty. I think he's an original.
What makes him such an original?
I mean,
Give me something.
he's been there for a while. I think he's a staple of the team. Gritty came on, he's new. They're trying to create this big personality behind it, but the Fanatic is just a classic.
Now, your owner, Will Ferrell, has some iconic movies that he's done, some iconic characters. What's a better character for Will Ferrell? Is it Frank the Tank or is it Ron Burgundy? Or do you have another?
I like both of them, but I think the head coaching job he has in Kicking and Screaming is by far, yes, it is 100%. He shows up in that striped tiger costume to a game. I mean, what coach does that?
All right. How about this? Best goalie perk, using your hands or not having to run?
Not having to run. That's why I became a goalie.
That's literally why you started playing goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, I tried to be a forward, but then my coach put me on the bench every time, and then I was tired of sitting there. So he was like, who wants to play goalie? So I volunteered.
And you did pretty well at that. Let's see. This isn't your first taste of late night television.
No.
You actually were on the late night show with James Corden.
Yes.
And there is a little bullseye that you guys strapped James Corden to at LAFC, and you spun him while he went upside down and upright, and you got to strike soccer balls at him.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, I was the first one up. I was a little bit nervous, my first time on TV, but I hit him square in the face with the ball.
Did he say anything to you after?
He said that was a pretty good shot, and it definitely stung a little bit, and I felt kind of bad for doing it.
All right. If Tyler Miller could put anybody up there, teammate or anybody else in Major League Soccer, who would he put up there? In that little bullseye that spins that you get to shoot at him.
I mean, there's a few people I have to in my mind, but I mean,
now or never, we name names.
I think I'm sitting next to him right now. I think I'd love to strap you up there and just see what I got.
Disclaimer: we used to play with each other in Seattle. That's a low blow. But Tyler, thanks for being with us on Now or Never, man.
Thanks for having me.